All right. Social distances, social influences, social platformers, social menaces, social pests. I'm still trying to work out how to. I need to really sit down. I've said this 1,000 times. Sit down with the DJI OM4, which is old now, by the way, and work out how to edit it. I don't even know how to pause it. So this could be messy, but today I'm going to make chicken schnitzel from scratch, right? See how that goes. So I've already, just here, you can see, I've already defrosted these. These weren't fresh, but they were fresh when they went in the freezer. And you should be using gloves if you're going to be feeding other people, even yourself. Or make sure, as I've said before, you wash your hands very well. You know, getting in between these bits here, even around the nails, it's vital, up to the wrists, like as if you're going to do surgery. Because like chicken, it's a dangerous product. You get sick. So I'm going to dry these off with some paper towel and make them a bit thinner. I'll get 4 out of this. This isn't a filleting knife, I know, but it's my sharpest knife and my newest edition, Victorinox. I've got a filleting knife here, but it's not. It's like got a serrated edge on it, and it's a Wiltshire, and it's a good knife. As a block, I bought a block. You know, they go okay, they really do. But when you're going to do the serious stuff, you need a serious knife, and this knife does a job. I think it was $60 including postage. So I'll do that. I don't have the colour coded board yet. I'm yet to purchase. I have been into a couple of stores and had a look, but not seriously. But I'm just going to use this for that only, and then I'll give this a proper clean. Yeah, I'm going to put, once I've done the breast chicken meat, I'll have like breadcrumbing station, and I'm using those ones. Like I said, whatever's in the cupboard, whatever's in the fridge, whatever's in the pantry, whatever's in the freezer. So that is where they'll go. You can put this in like a bag, clip lock bag, and then throw the piece of chicken in, but I prefer to do it in that. But I will put the flour in a plastic bag because I don't have any large clip lock bags. Like I said, whatever I've got. And there's other flours, but this one was open and it hasn't been open very long. Yeah, I'll put when I put the fillet in the bag with the flour before I drop it into the egg. And that'll be the little egg station there. Get to prepare those. But I've got a bit of mise en place going on here. So I have prepared already, and I've actually got some eggs because I'm going to do that with some pink salmon and a bit of garlic aioli, and I'll add to that a little bit of onion. Like I said, whatever's in the fridge, pantry, cupboard, freezer. If I had a little bit of parsley, I'd add that. If I had a little bit of shallots, I would add that. But I'll add a bit of seasoning, a bit of pepper, pink salmon to the egg with some garlic aioli, and I might add just a little drab of mustard, maybe. Or you could spice it up and just drop a little bit of Tabasco in it, if you wanted. And the same with the breadcrumbs. So that's something that I just prepared earlier for my lunch or evening meal. Eating healthy, I have it on wraps with some cucumber and some tomato and that later on. So for now, I'm going to just pat a couple of these dry. And with the breadcrumbs, you can add anything to those also. You can like put you can put, and I'm trying not to touch anything with the chicken fingers, but you can add whatever to the breadcrumbs. Or look, so how it sticks, you got to be careful because the paper will stick, because it's not a top quality one, but I've got it all off and that's okay. So I'll put that in the bin. I've got a little bag over there, and I'll take this off of here, and yeah, so yeah, you can add to the breadcrumbs parsley, whatever seasoning, a bit of pepper. You can add like some herbs and some spices to the breadcrumbs if you want, but I'm just going to go neat today because it's for somebody that I'm not. So I've got the, you can see, right? So look, all right, how's that? I'm bringing it to you. So I prepared some of the stuff, but not all. So I'm being very careful here too. All right, so look at that. That's nice. And you know what? You would flatten that out a little bit, and I will. The bottom one, I actually cut it. I didn't cut it evenly, but that, and see how it's a little bit mangled. I can still make that. That'll be fine. You know, when that all comes together, you won't know until you cut into it. Look, see, and my hands are clean. So with this one, you would just get like a bottle or a rolling pin or something. Oh, you put it in a bag and then just give it a tap, but not going too crazy on it because it's pretty tender. I mean, it's quite fragile meat, that. So, and whatever I'm using that's involved with the chicken, like this tea towel that I'm just drying my hands with after I washed them, won't be getting used on anything else. So right now, I don't think I've got a rolling pin. No, I don't. And do I got a bottle? I don't think so. Or a round cylinder shaped something. But I'll put this in a bag. And I'll flatten it out, make it a little bit bigger. I just, you know, there's probably no need, but I am going to. Let me see if I can find something. So I haven't really prepared. All right, watch this. Check this out. Bit of innovation. This is a heavy pan, a heavy, really heavy base tefal by Jamie Oliver. Yeah, it comes with a lid. Look, watch. Well, let me move that knife just over there. And, you know, I'm not, there. You know, that's it's flatten it out a little bit. The bag's kind of split. I'll cover that back up. So you be sure that you have it in the middle of the bag and not to the edges. I'm just trying to avoid further mass, really. That's all. So, and I'm staying in the middle of it because if you get too much to the edges, if you get too close to the edge, it'll just, you'll ruin it. So that's a little thinner, and I'm turning it over. Yeah, there you go. So there's not, meat's not splashing around everywhere, and oh, this is a bit like, you know, you could say a bit feral, but you know, I don't have a rolling pin, and before I mess around with that, I'll just give this a bit of a wipe. I'll use paper towel. I won't use a dishcloth because unless that dishcloth is really new, clean, and not, you know, been in touch with any other things in the kitchen area, I'm not going to wipe that board down in between preparation, so and contaminate anything. You with me? So now I need to just do a couple of eggs just quickly, and just whisk a couple of eggs up. And one may be enough. So if not, I've got a second one here. So I'll just go with the one first. You know, everybody has their own idea on how this should be done. But this is mine, and it's been a while, like since I've been in the kitchen, like quite a while, and I should have more preparation done here. So this plate, so the station should be like flour, first one here, egg, then breadcrumbs, then plate. So you should have them like, you know, set it up so you're not going backwards and forwards. It's all like a processing line. So the crumbs, and yeah, the pictures are, you know, demonstrating or indicating, you know, that they're good for other things, and they're a bit coarse, these ones. You can make your own breadcrumbs. You just dry out, get some stale bread even, not mouldy, but bread that's, you know, not quite good to just for fresh, or you toast it, you know, and take the crust off, whack it through the food processor, go nuts with that. But here, I'm going to put it in here because, and you know what, I'm just going to use it all because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's cheap enough. And I'll be pressing that on there. So a little bit of egg wash. I'm probably going to go with 2 because, yeah, because I'll make them all. And I'm just going to do some mashed potato with it. I'm not messing around with fancy salads and all that. I've got a guy who enjoys, you know, my cooking, and a friend of mine who's, you know, who rents a room here, good bloke, a hard worker, and he appreciates that. And I don't mind cooking for the guy. He's a good bloke. So, and he likes it simple. He likes different things, like different types of cultural, you know, variety in cuisine, but he really is old school. Likes, you know, meat, different, you know, meat, poultry, whatever, veg. Yeah, so I'll just do some mash and some, probably throw in some, as I've mentioned before and shown you before, the frozen variety, convenient. These are the winter vegetables from Market Fair. There's some broccoli, some collie, some beans and some carrot. I have fresh in the fridge, carrot, but they're just convenient. And nothing goes to waste unless you're buying, and you know, those the fresh from the fruit and veggie store. Frozen's often just as good, and I've mentioned before, it's snap frozen within hours of it being processed or harvested or picked. So often, you know, the nutrients are better in frozen vegetables than they are of other things that have sometimes been stored in cold storage for like months, long time. So don't be fooled, do your research. So I've got the flour in the bag. So I'll put this fillet in the flour, then dip it in the egg, and then drop it in the breadcrumbs. So you'll just have to be patient and see what you can see there. But I'll start with this good one first. And the other thing too is when your hands get a little bit of a workout, so you know, you might wipe them in between, but remember, don't use the same tea towel or whatever you're using to you know, to wipe the dishes and stuff, whatever you're doing there. So, and I'll just seal that up, drop that in the flour. And you can even season your flour. You could season your flour if you wanted to. A bit of salt and pepper or something maybe in there, you know, whatever. So now, I'll just try to use, and make sure that it's all coated, and it is. So that worked out well. Well, there you go, look at that. Now I'll just drop it in the egg. And I'm trying not to touch it. I'm just, you know, I'm going hands free, eh? Like that. Yeah, so, and I'm almost there, but, you know, look, I have a go at me. Alright. And you want to cover it all. Like, you know, if you see a little bit of flour, there's a little bit of flour here. I'll, yeah, here we go, look. And then just let some of that, keep it all close together. So I've got the bowl really close to the, or you can bring it over here like this. Lay it in there like that. Put that out there so that you can see better. And I'm using my dry hand, right? I haven't seasoned this. This is going to get a little bit messy, so I'll just bring it over here. See, I'm pressing those crumbs onto it, and look, my hands come up dry, so, you know, it's turning out quite well. And when I cook this, I mean, I could air fry it, right? And I may. And I'll just turn it over before I present it to you. You could double crumb this. You could do this again. You go again with this. You probably wouldn't need to dip it in the flour again, but just egg it. You can drop it in the egg again, and then drop it back in the crumbs. Double crumb it. And, you know, because it's got crumbs, it'll soak up oil and all that sort of stuff. But the healthy alternative would be to drop it, you know, spray maybe a little bit of olive oil, in you know, you can buy in the can at the supermarket. You spray on, and then just put it in the air fryer. You won't see me cooking it. I'm just going to show you this part of it. So today that'll do. But this, that's okay. That's decent. There's not too much on it. Like I said, you can drop it in the egg and dip it again. And I might do that with another piece just for, you know, the purpose of, you know, the demonstration. So, lovely. All right, that's great. So I'll just drop that on the dry plate, and then I would put that. I will put that in the fridge very shortly. At the moment, just want to wash my hand. Just off to the side here, the sink is. I want to do this other piece. So, and I didn't really make much of a mess. There's a little bit of crumb just here, but I'll pick that up soon. But yeah, I didn't really make that much of a mess, so actually I can leave that there now. So this piece here, right, I might double dip this one. So I'll drop this one in the flour. Well, you can do anything, garlic powder, chili powder, you know, you can do whatever, spice them up. But for me, if I'm cooking for people and I'm not really that aware of what, you know, their preferences are with all the herbs and spices thing, I'll just make it neat, and they can add whatever they want then after that. It's like when I cook, if I cook a big pot of something, if I'm cooking like a curry or a chili or something like that, I won't make it too hectic. I'll just make it, and then I can maybe put their portion aside, or we can add something after I take other portions out. to spice it up and that. So, you know, okay. All right, I'll get this one done. Hopefully it's stayed together somewhat. Yeah, it has. So, see how it's a little bit mangled, this one, but it's okay. I'll drop it in the egg, give it the egg bath. I'm going to use the other hand. I'm going to assist this one a little bit, and when I put it in the flour, in the breadcrumbs, I'll sort it so that it, right, so it turns out flat. The other one. I'm not making too much mess here at all, really. I think I said I was going to double dip this one. Let me just put this one in there, and I'll use this other hand. All right. Okay. Now that one's got a bit moist. The word moist. A few of you cringing there, a couple of your eyebrows went up. A couple of you will just have to disappear for a few minutes and knock one out. Moist. Social moistness. Rightio, so both hands are dry now, so I'm just going to do this, cover it in crumbs. Yeah, lovely. Lovely that is. Oh look, it's going well. I've double dipped stuff before. It's been a while. I've done, you know, like when I've been cooking for a mate of mine, I used to cook for a lot. He'd give me a budget. So, and I'd either surprise him, because I kind of know what he likes, or he'd tell me what he'd want to eat, and I'd go and, so that one turned out okay. Oh, see, now I'll double dip it. Watch now. And I'm going to use the same hand, but I'm keeping my hand on the top side where it's dry, and I'm going to probably need another egg if I'm going to do these upper two, do like this other breast that I've got here. All right, so, and I'm attacking the end that wasn't mangled. So it kind of, well, here it comes, it's coming apart now. All right, I'll go the other end. I'm trying to keep it so that it turns out reasonable, right? All right, so here we go, watch. I'll fix it once it's in the breadcrumbs. All right, now, let me just wash my hands quickly, dry them again, which is helping a lot. Keeping, you know, like people would use gloves, but even then you're gonna have some issues. Watch this. Get a little bit of a spoon, because it's a bit sticky, right? So I'll cover it. I'm not sure what you can see there, but because the light's not great, I've got a skylight above me, and I've got like a light on, and the light for the range hood above the stove. All right. So watch now. I'll just pat it down. Double dip, double crumb. This one. I'll turn it over. It's not too bad. Now it's good. Now I can just go over using my hands now. Now you can triple crumb it if you wanted to. Whatever turns you on. Yeah, however you like it. But too many crumbs, not really good. But double I'm okay with this texture of crumb, because this is, like I said, quite coarse. It also almost feels like desiccated coconut. So, I'll watch this. Now I'm going to be careful with it because, and I might bring the plate over. Bring the plate over. One more time on this side. and I'm pressing it in, alright? Oh, Steve's going to love this. He loves it. He does. He's a good bloke. He works hard, and like, he's given me an opportunity to get back into a passion of mine, cooking, which has been for years, and I kind of just haven't done it for quite a while. But I'm back. I'm back, bitches. And that is okay, you know. There's a little bit of meat exposed, but I'll just cover it. That's all right. I'm cheating a little bit. Well, I'm not. All right. So, check it. You can see the difference. This one's double. The light's not crash up though. This one's doubled. And this one isn't. So I'm just going to put those in the fridge now. And I'll cook them just before I'm about to leave for work later on this evening. And I'll cover it. But for now, I'm just going to slide it in the fridge while I do these other ones. And yeah, lovely. Alright, so I'll just move me stuff out of the way for a second. Just give that board a bit of a wipe off. I like to clean up as I go. Like really anal, whatever you want to call it. Pedantic, particular. You know, I like to tidy up as I'm going. Now I need another plate. Do this other one. And I'm not going to flatten this one out. I'll just cut it, try and cut it evenly. And there. I won't flatten this one. I mean, you flatten it out to make it look bigger on the plate, right? And also, it cooks it quicker and more evenly, okay? I've got all the paper off that. All right, good, yeah, lovely. So, you know. All right, so this time, I'll try and cut it so that they come out evenly. And not like before, I had one thick piece and one thin piece, okay. So they're quite, not too bad. I won't, what's the name of those ones? So one piece in here. And you know what, I might season this one, get a little bit creative. I'll season this flour. A little bit of a surprise in there I'll do, and even the egg. Watch this for Steve. This will be for Steve. I could go with the Tabasco, a little bit of Tabasco in the egg, and or I could put a bit of chili powder in it, and or a bit of curry powder. So what will I do? A bit of pepper, a little bit of pepper in there. Ground black pepper, a little bit of pepper in the flour. Yeah, you could even add like some chicken stock, right? Enhance the flavour a bit, which I will. This is what you can do. All this, like really. So I'll put a little bit of chicken stock powder in there, just a little bit, not too much. You don't want it to taste too artificial. You know, one thing I learnt when I worked in a bakery, if it looked artificial, people aren't attracted to that. Some are, because they don't know any better. But if it didn't look good, you don't put it out. If it looks artificial, people may not be attracted to it. So I could put a bit of chili powder in there. I could go with turmeric. I could go coriander, ground cumin. You could do whatever. You can flavour it up to suit yourself. But for me, I'm just going to do a little bit of this for Steve. I'll put this in the egg wash. And I should be doing that away so that I don't get any of these things in the product here. So a couple of drops. Steve in there, he'll like that. I won't even tell him when he goes over, he'll go, oh, that's got a little bit of kick. Yeah, a little bit there. A little bit of Tabasco. A little bit of pepper and a bit of chicken stock in the thing. I'll have to let you know what the outcome is. And Steve will tell me, he's honest, he'll go, oh, you know, that was alright, or I really didn't like this particular thing. And he's you know, I think sometimes he's a bit reluctant to share that with me when I cook different things that he tries. He's a good sport though. So, there's the Tabasco. I'm going to add another egg because there's a few breadcrumbs in that. So I'll add another egg. And maybe I'll eat one of them flat ones. I'm not doing any chili or anything like that at the moment. So, some googie eggs. It's a big box of eggs, isn't it? We'll go through a few here. Steve gets them from somewhere. Steve supplies a lot of this stuff too, you know, that I knock up. So, good bloke. Was there any shell in that? No. Is that shell? No. Good. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Stevie Wonder. I love that song. Wish I could sing like him. He's got a voice. You'll guess what I'm doing on the screen here. Yeah. Just wiping down a couple of things. Can't help myself. That's how I go. That's the way I roll. I'm cleaning up on the run, on the trot, because I want to get rid of this now, out of the way. That plate. And wash that up, because it's all chicken juices and stuff. So, you know, you've got to clean up properly as well. I should have something in the sink. I'll just rinse that off. Put the eggs back. Put the googie eggs back. And I need a dry plate. So you're not going to use the plate that you just had that on, because it's cross-contamination. That's how you'll get sick. So I'll quickly wash up this plate that I just had the raw on in the hot temperatured water as well. Not messing around. Doing it properly. I don't want anyone to get sick. Well, the older you get too, you know, it takes you longer, and you're more vulnerable, and younger, older and younger, you're more vulnerable. So you just need to take care of business, and it all starts with the hygiene. In the preparation, the storage of the food, you know, when you're transporting it from a supermarket to, especially if they're cold goods like, you know, fridge or freezers and stuff, take cooler bags, you know, take ice bricks. Plan it so that you buy the frozen and the fridge goods last, and then come straight home. Don't leave it sitting in the back of your car in the sun or in the boot. You know, take care of business. And everyone's going, oh, Google it. I'm like, what? People are not talking to one another these days. I heard somebody going, oh, boomer. I'm not a boomer. You know, saying, oh, you know, I'm tired of explaining myself to boomers. It was an Australian radio program. I wasn't offended by it, but I just thought it was a bit a bit narrow-minded. Like, you know, like the guy was going, oh, just Google it, mate. I don't even have to tell you. Well, that's what we're losing, the social skills. Because people aren't chatting to each other anymore. You know, oh, just Google it, mate. Okay, so the breadcrumbs are still okay. The egg wash, right here. The fresh plate for the next lot. So the chicken here Steve will think he's getting ripped off because this one's not been flattened out by the other, like the other. But I'll explain that to him. I'll say, hey Steve, I'm not skimping out on you, brother. Yeah, I've got a night shift today, so I've got some time on my hands and I need to go to the gym. I've been losing the weight too. I've lost, like, you know, 1.7 kilos in the last 10 days, so I'm having success by, you know, changing my nutritional, you know, what goes in the mouth, you know, literally. All right. Steve will appreciate this. And I'm using the dry hand to cover it in crumbs. Not bad. Just got to remember that this one's got a bit of the Tabasco in it. And the flour's been seasoned as well. Yeah, seasoned with a bit of chicken stock and a bit of ground black pepper. Let's see if Steve, I'll give him one of each and see if he appreciates it. See if he goes, oh, no, like the difference. The difference is, I'll say, hey Steve, eat that, tell me what you think. He won't eat both of them at once, but he'll have a part of each and he'll take it to work the next day. He'll put it in the fridge and he'll take it to work the next day. That still looks all right, even from over there. See? I'm dropping crumbs everywhere. That still looks all right on the plate. Yeah. In a sec. Another wash. See, I'm not in a commercial environment, so I can take my time. But it doesn't matter, you know. I'll drop this one in here. Last one. Two slips in a gully. That's a lovely. That's a lovely, that is. It's a terrible thing you went and done to your fingers there, Patrick. That's a Johnny Garfield joke from when I was about 13 and a half. He said, you know, if you had brought your fingers with you, because I rushed him off to the hospital, he was at the sawmill pushing the timber through, and lopped his fingers off, and they rushed him to the hospital, and the doctor says, you know, Patrick, if you had brought your fingers with you, we could have sewn them back on with microsurgery. Patrick says, bring them with me. He says, I couldn't pick them up. Yeah, poor bloke. So that is well seasoned. Lovely. Now, my hands need to be a little bit dry. That's the plate that I used in the sink. There's the potatoes. I've kind of washed them before I peel them. I've washed them, you know. I'll peel those later. And you can do different things with your mash as well, adding things to your mash. So now I'm going to drop it in the egg, this one. That, I'll bin that. If I was going to make more, I'd probably just tie it up and put it in the fridge. And just, you know, it'd be fine in there, but I'm not. So it's just, you know, a little bit of flour. It's cheap. It's cheap enough. It's cheap enough. All right then there. Lovelies. Again, I'm going hands free here, trying to make sure that it all gets covered. Almost. All right. You tell me if I'm doing something wrong. This is my interpretation, bitches, right? So suck it up. Enjoy. Look at that. Feels like it's slipping through my fingers. Right, in the crumbs. Using the dry hand. Well, what you do is, you get a bit of crumb on one end of it, on top and underneath, right? And then just grab it. It's crumb, right? There. And turn it over. And you're not going to get crumb and egg and flour and that all over your fingers. Back in the day, I'd crumb everything. I loved crumbing the flathead fillets that I used to catch. Loved it. Oh, good times. Oh yeah, I used to fish nearly every day. I lived about, 500 metres away from the boat ramp. I didn't start work till 9, so I'd get up and throw the boat in the water at 5. A couple of hours, get out there and the fish are eating breakfast. Yeah, lovely. All right. Done. Donny done done. There we go. Lovely. Yeah. I've been all that. And I'm rinsing the plates off too. I've only got one sink. Like I wish I had two. I could, but I don't think I'm going to bother. So now breadcrumbs. I'll get chucked out as well. It's all sort of finished really. I'll put it in the Clip-Lock bag that had the, it had the, oh look at that, the egg in there as well. I'll wash all that up. And it's all, because I do recycle, but I don't have like a worm farm where I put all this stuff in there. All you greenies out there that might be watching, you tree huggers, you're okay, you're doing a job. If it wasn't for people like you, the world would be a far better, a worse off place. So everybody has a role to perform, from vegans to tree huggers to whatever, political protesters and all that. So everybody has a role to play, including me. And mine is entertainment value and to help people become great and better. But yeah, I need to just do a little bit more of that for myself. When I am. Here we go, look. See? Lovely. I'll put those ones in the fridge. And I'm not going to put them on top of the other ones either, because they'll, we don't want them, messing it up. So that's good. Now I'll just clean up. So, thank you bitches. Peace out. Glory, glory to South Sydney. And subscribe. Leave some comments. Cheers. Merry Christmas. Hang on.